Hey guys, it's Sarah. Thank you so much for watching. So today I wanted to revisit an older video of mine, a video that I did at the beginning of 2019, where I shared 5 types of beauty items that I said I was no longer going to buy. And I want to go back and discuss, first of all, whether or not I stuck to that, whether or not I want to continue not buying those things. And then I also want to share a few things that I have added to the list of things that I either no longer need to buy, no longer have a desire to own, or things that I have figured out that I can cut out of my routine and not really miss. I thought that since we are now about 6 months into the year, we're halfway through, cannot believe that. I can't believe how fast this year is going by. I feel like people say that every year, but this year especially seems like it's going by suspiciously fast. But I thought it would be interesting to kind of do a little check-in on this. Do I still feel like it makes sense for me to not buy these types of items? And, you know, what else have I decided I don't need to buy anymore? So first thing I said I wasn't gonna buy anymore at the beginning of this year was peachy blushes. And I said in that video, and I realized I was really wrong about what I said. I said that I pretty much only owned peachy blushes. That's not necessarily true. I think what I really should have said, or what I meant to say, was that I owned mostly peachy and light pink blushes. All my blushes fall into that category, and really what I've realized is that pretty much all of those blushes look about the same on my cheeks when they're blended out, and when I also have bronzer and highlight on and over my foundation. You apply blush in kind of a sheared out way. You're never applying, you know, a fully opaque layer of the blush that's gonna look exactly the way that it does in the pan. What I've really realized is that most blushes look pretty much the same. Now, where I've realized that's not as true is on days where I wear blush and I'm really not wearing any other face makeup. Some days lately I've just been wearing blush even when I'm not wearing any foundation, and I do notice my blushes, you know, one blush that's more peachy will look very different from another blush that's more pink. So there is some variety with what I have, but most of what I have is either light pink or peach, or somewhere in between. So I do still stand by the fact that I don't want to buy any more peachy blushes. Now, one exception that I did state in that video was that I would be okay with buying cream blushes that are a more peachy tone. And so because at the beginning of this year, I don't think I owned any cream blushes yet. And that was something that I was wanting to explore more of this year. And so I have purchased 2 peachy cream blushes this year. The Flower Blush Balm in Pinched, which is one of my absolute favorites now. And then also the e.l.f. Monochromatic Multi-Stick in Glistening Peach. This is a more shimmery, kind of goldeny peach. So now I really don't have a need to buy any peachy blushes, cream or otherwise, because I now have 2 of those. I love both of these, especially the flower one. I don't regret purchasing either one. I'm glad that I made that exception for myself, because it is nice to have a cream option of that type of color. But I would like to add an addendum to this one, and that is, I think I now want to stop buying blushes altogether. That's a bold, bold statement. But, you know, like I said, I'm realizing more and more, they all look pretty much the same once they're blended out on my skin. I have several different undertones of blush. I have cooler pink blushes, I have really warm peachy blushes, I have 2 blushes that I'm currently trying to use up. And I also acquired a bronzy blush, and that is another cream blush from e.l.f. And I really feel like I'm good now. I don't feel like I need any more blushes. And I think I own somewhere around 10. I haven't counted in a while. I did declutter a couple of them, but I own a lot of blushes, enough where it would take me probably at least a decade to use them all up. So I'm just like at this point now where I feel like I'm at my capacity with blushes. I love blushes, I really do. I get excited when I am putting on blush. It's a fun product to apply, but I feel like I have all the variety that I need now, and I don't need any more. So I think I'm actually gonna stop buying blushes altogether. Now, maybe I'll change my mind about that in 6 months or a year or something once I've used up a few of mine, but for now, I really think that I don't need to buy any more. So there's an update on that one. The next category of products that I was no longer going to buy at the start of this year was nail polish, and I specifically said regular nail polish because at that time I had just recently discovered gel polishes. I actually had a brand send me some gel polishes in PR, and I was really enjoying those at the time that I filmed this video in January. And at that time I said, I am not going to buy any more regular nail polishes. I might buy some more colors of the gel polish, and because I was really into those at the time. I really liked how they would last a long time. They would last a lot longer on my nails than regular polishes. And so at that point in time, I was really only using my regular nail polishes on my toes. And so there really wasn't a need for, I just felt like I had, I had plenty of colors. I think I probably owned maybe, if I had to guess, like 15 colors of nail polish, regular nail polish. And I was good with that. I felt like even though I don't have every single color of the rainbow and every single undertone of every color of the rainbow, I don't really want to buy any more nail polishes because, for one thing, they take forever to use up. I don't use them all that often. It's not great for the environment to just have all these nail polishes that are probably going to dry up before I am able to finish them. So that was what I said then. My mind has changed a little bit on this one, so I actually completely changed my mind about the gel polishes. They were from the brand Madame Glam, and I actually did a whole video review of those and a demo and everything, and I really did like them. I do feel like they're really good for what they are, but I figured out that I just don't have the patience for doing my own gel manicures at home. Not only does it take a really long time to apply, but it also takes a really long time to remove, and I just don't have the patience to remove them properly without doing like hella damage to my nails. So I'm not messing around with those anymore. I actually gave them to someone. There's like a Facebook group in my area called Buy Nothing, and it's a place where you can offer things for free. I just gave them away to someone who said that they would really like to use them, so I feel really good about that. I'm glad someone else is going to get to try them and hopefully really enjoy them, but I just don't like gel nail polish anymore. I completely changed my mind, and I went from really liking them to really not liking them, but I think I just realized that I just do not have that kind of patience. So back to regular nail polishes it is, and I've been actually painting my fingernails a lot more lately with regular nail polish, especially now that I'm trying to pan my Orly top coat. That's really encouraged me to paint my nails even more, and I'm really enjoying it. Especially, I love painting my nails, I find, in the summertime. Really into nail polishes right now. I actually did break my promise. I talked about this in my most recent haul video. I did buy a new red nail polish. This is the Jordana one in the shade Fascinated with Red. I bought this because my other red polish completely dried up. I didn't use it up all the way before it dried up, and red is one of those colors that I feel like is kind of a staple that I don't have to have it at all times, but I really would like to have a red nail polish at all times. So I did replace that one. That's the only regular nail polish I've bought so far this year. I don't plan on buying any more nail polish, at least not right now. I don't feel quite as attached to not buying nail polishes anymore. That didn't make sense. I don't feel quite as strongly about it anymore. I feel like I would be okay with maybe buying a few more colors, because now I am more into using nail polish even on my fingernails, but I think I would like to try to maybe use up some of my existing polishes first. So there's that one. The next type of makeup product I said I was no longer going to buy was brow gel, and I continue to stand by that. I used to use it religiously. I went through so many of those e.l.f. dual-ended clear lash and brow mascaras. So many of them, and I thought that it was like an essential in my beauty routine. Until after I'd been using it for like 3 years, I realized that it was not really that great. Like, it would make my after I filled in my brows, it would make the product kind of smear around. It would make it, it would kind of lift it up in certain places. It was just making my brows look worse. So I haven't bought any new brow gels this year, and I don't think I plan on it. I will say I do like the look of I know people really like the Essence Make Me Brow, is that what it's called? A lot of people have recommended that product to me, and people recommend Essence products to me all the time. And guys, I'm dying to try Essence, but the reason why I don't buy their products is because they are, and have been for quite some time, on the gray area list on Logical Harmony. And if something is not either Logical Harmony approved or Leaping Bunny certified, or if it's a very small indie brand that I realize has, those types of brands have a lot of trouble getting on Logical Harmony because they're just not as well known. So unless it's one of those types of brands or a brand that is on either Logical Harmony or Leaping Bunny, I just don't feel comfortable purchasing from them. So I really would, honestly, if Essence did become Logical Harmony approved, I probably would try that Essence brow gel just because it has such a cult following, and I feel like I would really like the smaller brush that it has. I do really like the kind of fluffy brow effect that those seem to give people, but I just don't know of any like drugstore ones that do have a smaller brush. e.l.f. probably makes one, now that I think about it. They make a lot of products. But yeah, that's why I haven't tried the Essence one yet. I don't think I'll feel the need to try any brow gels, but I could see the appeal of a tinted brow gel. I will give you that. Okay, the next type of product I said I was no longer gonna buy, and I still stand by it, is the packaged single eyeshadows. So single eyeshadows that come, you know, that aren't the kind that go into a magnetic palette. I don't feel like whenever I've had those kinds of singles in the past, I really don't reach for them as often as I reach for actual magnetic singles or eyeshadow palettes. I just always reach for my palettes over single shadows. I have a few single shadows remaining in my collection that are not magnetic that I really love. Like I really love the e.l.f. Long-Lasting Lustrous Eyeshadow in Soiree. I love that eyeshadow, it's one of my favorites. When's the last time I used it? Probably 5 months ago. Like I think the last time I used it was maybe even at the end of 2018. So that just goes to show, like, as much as I love that shadow, I'm not reaching for it. I really should probably put that in a Shop My Stash soon. But that one, the Terre Mer one that I really like, when's the last time I wore it? Probably February, and now it's June. Like if I love it, you know. So basically, long story short, I feel like even if I love a single shadow that's individually packaged, I don't reach for it. I also have a ColourPop Super Shock shadow that I love, hardly ever reach for it. So I'm gonna stick to that one. Now, you know, magnetic single shadows, I'm fine with buying those, but I really haven't bought any recently. I feel like I have a good variety of those already, and I haven't felt the need to buy any eyeshadows lately because I really do have a lot. If you count like every single pan in my collection, I have a lot. I have probably over 140 or 150 at this point, which and I would consider my eyeshadow collection pretty small, honestly, compared to a lot of YouTubers. So really feeling a little overwhelmed with eyeshadow, so I don't think I would buy, I don't even know if I would buy any more magnetic singles, but don't hold me to that because I might change my mind, especially if ColourPop had a sale or something. And then the last type of product I was no longer going to buy, and I, again, still stand by this, is cream shadow sticks. I just don't feel, it's kind of similar to the way that I feel about single shadows, is that I just don't reach for them. I don't really have a need for them. Even the kind that really like stay put and don't budge, those are nice, but I still don't, I would rather just use an eyeshadow primer as my base and then powder shadows on top of that. I'm still working on using up my very last cream eyeshadow stick, pencil, jumbo pencil, whatever you want to call it. That's the Jordana one, and that one is like a nude color, and I use that actually as a primer, and that's what I've been using as a primer since the start of the year, and it's taking forever to use up. But yeah, I don't really feel like I need to buy any of those anytime soon. I don't really have a use for them. They just don't really feel like a product that I need. Okay, so those are the 5 things that I, at the beginning of 2018, promised that I would no longer buy, and I wanted to kind of check in on those 5 things, let you know if I've changed my mind or not. I really haven't changed my mind on any of them except nail polishes a little bit, but for the most part I don't really feel the need to buy those 5 things even now. So I wanted to add to the list though. I have a few more things that I think I've decided I don't want to buy anymore. No, I know I've decided I don't want to buy them anymore. So the first thing is, like I said, blush. I don't want to buy any more blush. I'm good on blush. Bronzer and highlighter, I'm okay with buying more of those. I don't want to go crazy with them, but yeah, but no more blush. I don't need any more. The next thing that I want to stop buying is, and this is kind of specific, but it would be complexion products online. So in stores is fine, but it's impossible to pick a shade online of something I've never tried before. So unless I'm like repurchasing something that I know matches me, like I had this whole debacle earlier this year, actually end of 2018 into this year, with the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I had to return it twice because I bought a shade that was too dark for me, even though it was described as like a fair neutral, which is like, that sounds to me like the perfect shade for me, but that was too dark. So then I went and exchanged it for the very lightest shade without actually swatching it on my hand. But I went to the store to exchange it for the lightest shade in the line, and that shade was just too light. Like, it was so light that I felt like it almost emphasized my under eye circles rather than conceal them. So that was too light, and I really debated whether or not I wanted to exchange it again, but I ultimately did end up going and exchanging it for the second lightest shade, which is now a great shade for me, and now I'm able to, I feel like, really give that concealer a fair shot, and I really know how I feel about it now because it's the right shade. And I feel like whenever I have something that's the wrong shade, whether it's too dark or too light, a foundation or a concealer, I just think that it's impossible for me to even tell if I like the product, the formula of the product, the finish of the product, all of that, because I just can't get past the shade not looking right on me. So like, of course I didn't like the Too Faced concealer at first because it was too light, but now that I have the right shade, it works. But I really don't like returning things once they're open because that means it's just gonna get probably thrown away. And I really hate that I had to return it twice because that just, oh, that kills me. Like, I would prefer not to ever have to return any opened makeup product at all. And that's just part of like being a smarter consumer and informing myself of the products before I actually buy them. But and then I think it happened again with something. I did successfully pick a concealer from Jordana online, and that was a concealer that I think can only be purchased online, so I really had to just wing it, and I ended up picking a really good shade. But for the most part, I think that I just need to stop buying complexion products online altogether because it's just not worth, like, you know, something can look like the perfect shade or be described as the perfect shade online, but not actually work. Okay, another thing I'm no longer buying, and I've touched on this many times already, and I think at the beginning of this year I hadn't committed to this yet because I was still buying them for travel purposes, but now I think I've determined that I can totally survive without buying makeup wipes, face wipes, makeup remover wipes, any kind of wipes for my face, because I have reusable makeup remover cloths that I really like. I have a bunch of them now. I've kind of started to collect them, and I have a really good amount of them now, so I you know, I'm never really running out of clean ones. And I haven't traveled yet since I stopped buying makeup remover wipes. So I haven't traveled yet with just the cloths, but next time I travel, I don't know when that will be. I plan to just bring those reusable cloths with me, and the really nice thing about those is you don't really need any kind of additional makeup remover with them. All you need is to wet them with warm water, and they will pretty much remove everything. I haven't tried them with like waterproof mascara because I don't wear waterproof mascara, but normal mascara and, you know, normal eye makeup, even heavy eye makeup, I have no issue removing with those. The only thing I have trouble removing with those is like the Stila glitters, because those, it'll kind of take them off, but it'll then just like smear them around my face. It doesn't really lift those up because they're so stubborn to remove. And that's one reason why I don't really love those Stila glitters, because they're just like so intense and hard to remove. But yeah, so those cloths, now lately I've been using them with an oil. So like now I'm using them with the Trader Joe's vitamin E oil. Before that I was using them with an argan oil, and I feel like it's even easier to remove my makeup that way. But if I didn't have an oil on hand or I didn't have a makeup remover of any kind, I could still just use those cloths on their own and they would remove everything just fine. So yeah, I feel like the other thing about those is they can be hand washed. So if I'm traveling and I only bring a couple of them with me, I can easily wash them in the sink and just let them air dry. And so I feel like they might actually be good for travel. So yeah, no more makeup wipes. I do have a few makeup wipes left that I got from like a gift with purchase from Ulta that that I do still have, and I really don't think I'll need to repurchase any more wipes. Last thing I'm no longer buying is Scrubs. So, okay, not including body scrubs because I do still really like using a body scrub, but face scrubs and lip scrubs, lip exfoliators, any of that, I just don't feel like they're that effective. I recently made an impulse purchase at Trader Joe's, of course, and I bought their blueberry and acai face scrub, and it just looked really cute and intriguing to me. And I did see that it has lactic acid in it, which is a chemical exfoliant, which I do enjoy using chemical exfoliants. I feel like they're far more effective than physical exfoliants. So having lactic acid in it is what kind of made me decide to buy it, even though it's mostly a scrub. Like, it has little granules in it. It actually has like blueberry seeds in it, I think, which is cool. But again, like, you don't need to be rubbing blueberry seeds on your face. I really don't think that's like meant to be a skincare thing, and it's probably just not great for my skin. I'll probably end up using that up as a body scrub. I want to keep testing it as a face scrub though, just to see, but as of now I don't think it really does anything that great for my skin. But I'll probably maybe use it as like a foot scrub or a body scrub. But yeah, I like face scrubs are just, I've known that for a long time, that I really do prefer chemical exfoliants over physical exfoliants for my face, and I just don't need to buy those, even if they look cute and they're not very expensive at Trader Joe's. And then same with lip scrubs. I have one lip exfoliator now. It's the e.l.f. one, the one that is in like a lipstick looking tube packaging, and it's nice for what it is, but I don't feel like I need that, because I feel like in order to get good results with that, I do need to wet my lips beforehand, because otherwise it's just this like really dry, harsh stick, and it does feel like it's doing something, but like just now I used it before I filmed this video because I was gonna wear a liquid lipstick, and I felt like my lips were still had dead skin on them. The dead skin was just a little bit looser. So they didn't really look any better than they did before, and I do have better luck with that type of a product when I wet my lips first, so I really should put that in my shower and use it there. Although last time I put a lip exfoliator stick in my shower, it got real gross, so I don't know if I want to do that. But anyway, either way, I find that I have better luck if I just take like a damp washcloth and rub that on my lips, and even then I don't really feel like my lips are in need of a scrubbing that often. Like, it's pretty rare that my lips get that chapped to where they need to be scrubbed, and sometimes when I scrub them and they're already chapped, they're already irritated, scrubbing them just makes them more irritated. So no longer buying lip scrubs and lip exfoliants, as, you know, luxurious as they may look. Like, I know Milani makes one that looks really pretty. I would love to try it, but I just know that I don't need it. Like, if I really want to scrub my lips with something that's not a washcloth, I can mix sugar and oil together and do that, and I would get the same effect. So not buying those anymore. They're tempting, they're fun to have, but I don't need them. So I guess that's 4 more things that I'm adding to the list. Oh wait, and I also forgot to say cotton rounds, but I feel like I've already said this a million times before. I don't buy cotton rounds anymore, disposable ones, because I use reusable ones now. Now, if I were to travel, I don't know if I would bring my reusable ones with me. I might just do without them for a few days if I'm traveling, because I'll use them to apply toners and things like that. I don't use them to remove makeup. I know a lot of people use cotton rounds to remove their makeup. I don't know how that would work. I feel like they're too small. I don't know how people use cotton rounds to remove their makeup anyway. Like, aren't they way too small and they get snagged? And I've never understood. If anything, wouldn't a wipe be like way more effective? I don't know. But I still have some disposable cotton rounds from when I did used to purchase them, so I guess I'll use those next time I travel. But yeah, I don't really feel like I'll need to buy them anymore. But I feel like a lot of us have been making that switch lately, and it's really not that hard. The only thing you don't want to use reusable cotton rounds for would be like removing nail polish. I don't think that would be a good idea, because I don't think that would wash out very well. And same with removing makeup, I just don't think that would be a good idea. Like, I think they would get really stained, and again, they'd be kind of hard to wash. Maybe, I don't know, if you use them for makeup removal, let us know how that's worked for you. I've just never used cotton rounds of any kind for makeup removal, so I don't know how that would work, but I just use them for applying toner and things like that. So yes, 5 more things I'm no longer buying: complexion products online, blushes, makeup wipes, face scrubs and lip scrubs, and cotton rounds. So now I have 10 things on my list. So there you go, there's an update on items I'm no longer buying. I think I might do, again, like an updated version of this at the end of the year to let you know how it's going with the 5 things that I said that I was gonna stop buying. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.